Hello everyone and good morning. This is Dr. Sudarshan Sambajirao Pedge, Assistant Professor Department of Zoology, Kailaswasi Rasika Mahadir Devne, your zoology companion, and welcome to my lecture. Yesterday we have completed the introductory part of population, that is the natality as well as the mortality. Yesterday we have completed. Now today we will we will learn about next topic, that is the next characteristics of population is the population dispersal. Question may arise in your mind, what is meant by the population dispersal? Dispersal is a phenomena where the individual, not all, only individuals of a population move into or out of the population. That is called the dispersal, or that is called the population dispersal. Okay, what is meant by the population dispersal? Where the only individual of a population move into or out of the population is called population dispersal. Okay, and there are three kinds of population dispersal. First is the migration, second one is the immigration, and third one is the immigration. Okay, so see one by one. That is, the first one is the migration. In the migration, it is the periodic movement of animals from one place to another and back for breeding. That is called a migration. Oh, okay. What is meant by the migration? It is the periodic movement of animals from one place to the another and back for breeding, feeding, as well as shelter. Okay, we know very well. That is the one particular example. That is the fishes, birds, mammals, locusts, and certain crabs is also migrated at the time of breeding, at the time of feeding, at the time of shelter. Okay, and these migrated animals, it is one purpose for purposeful migration is there. Okay, because that animals, it will be migrated from one place to another and they will again back to his native, or again back his own ground. Okay, so that is called the migration. Okay, and example is the fishes, birds, mammals, locust, and certain crabs. Okay, so another, that is the catadromous migration and anadromous migration. Okay, we know very well among fishes exhibit exhibit catadromous migration. Okay, that is the one particular example is there. That is the eel angula is the good example of catadromous migration, in that they move from freshwater to sea thousands of miles away to lay eggs. Okay, and these eel fish is, after spawning, the parents die and the young ones, after 3 years of larval life in the sea, travel to freshwater, again back to travel to freshwater. That is the one particular migration is called as catadromous migration. Okay, so another, that is the anadromous migration is there. In that anadromous migration is the, we know very well, salmon fish is exhibit anadromous migration. Okay, and they move from sea to freshwater for breeding. Okay, it means the migration, it is one particular periodic movement of animals from one place to another and back for breeding, feeding, and shelter. Okay, this is it for the migration. Okay, is the immigration. Okay, immigration, it is the outward migration from a population, and it is one way migration. Okay, it is not two way. Okay, it is a one way migration, and that migrants never return to the starting place. Okay, it means the one way migration. Okay, the immigration means the outward migration, as well as it is the one way migration. Why? Because migrants are migrate to another place but never return to the starting place. Okay, so this is called the immigration. Okay, and immigration is induced by many factors, of which high density, overpopulation, and scarcity of food are significant. Okay, so it is particularly occur immigration, it will be occur uh, at the time of high density. It means the population, it will be increased at that time. The uh, uh, various types of problems is there. Okay, that is the one particular food scarcity of food is there. Okay, that's why animals, it will be the migrated to another parts. Okay, that is called as the immigration. And immigration is the one particular definition. It is a one-way migration, and the migrants never return to the starting place. Okay, it is called as the immigration. Okay, another, that is the immigration. Immigration, it is a inward migration. Okay, all that is the immigration, it is the outward, as well as the migration, it is also outward migration. Okay, as well as inward migration, but in the immigration is the only inward migration. It is also one way migration, and immigration leads to a loss of individual from one population and the addition of individual to another population. Okay, immigration leads to a loss of individual from one population and the addition of individual to another population. Okay, hence immigration may change the structure of a stable population. Okay, in particular, change the structure of stable population, that is called the immigration. Okay, so this is the population dispersion, and that there are three kinds, that is the migration, immigration, and immigration. Next population characteristics is the population density. Okay, so first of all, definition of population density is population density refers to the total number of individuals in a unit area or unit volume at a given time, called population density. Okay, total number of individuals in a unit area or unit volume at a given time, called population density. Okay, it may be expressed in a various parameters. For example, the number of bacteria in a liter of water. Okay, the number of plants per acre of land, as well as the number of peoples per square kilometer, and so on. Okay, so this is the one particular example of population density. Okay, and the density of any population can be expressed by the uh, formula, that is the d equal to n by a divided by t. Okay, d means the density, n is the number of individuals, t is the time, and a is the area. Okay, so this is the one particular formula of population density. Again, one point is we have seen, that is in the density, population density, that is the measurement. Okay, measurement of population density means how to measure population density. Okay, there are four kinds, or there are four types is there. That is the first one is the total count, second one is the sampling method, third one is the tagging method, and fourth one is the pillet count method. In the first, the total count, in this method, all the individuals of a populations are counted one by one. Okay, so all the individuals of a population are counted one by one, called total count method. Okay, it is the direct method, and it gives the accurate density. Okay, it is the direct method, and it gives the accurate density, but it is a practically possible only in the case of trees and human beings. Okay, it is not possible to count all animals. Okay, because they are not static. Okay, that is the one particular total count only possible for to count all animals, okay, because they are not it is not possible to count all animals, okay. It is not possible, okay, because they are not static, okay. Again this method cannot be employed by the in the case of smaller organism, okay. We know very well smaller organism we can't easily count. The second one is the sampling method. In that sampling method, one particular suitable samples are selected, okay, and the organism per samples are counted, and then the density is calculated. That is called the sampling method, okay. In that method we have taken one particular sample. We cannot take a whole, okay. If you study it on one particular water body, at that time you have taken only sample, okay. That is called as the sampling method, okay. Not all water is collected, okay. That is the one particular sampling method. It means it will be selected for suitable samples, okay. Another in that uh, sampling method, there are some sampling units is there. In that is the quadrates, transects and circlets, okay. The area of sampling unit should be based on the size of the organism, okay. That is the one particular sampling method is there. Another next is the tagging method. In that method, in a generally such type of tagging method, it will be used in the counting larger animals like fishes, birds, squirrels, okay, from the population, okay. A definite number of animals, I say 100, are captured, marked and released. After some days another set of animals are captured, say 80 animals. This batch contains a tagged animal and untagged animals. It will be the separated. Is tagged animal, it will be the secret. From the proportion of tagged and untagged animals, the total number of individuals in the population can be calculated, called the tagging methods. Or last method is the pillet count method. In that pillet count method, in this method we have collected only fecal pellets, okay, in one particular area, okay. So after that we have calculated the how many types of pellets or how many types of animals is coming in a particular area, or or this pellet count method generally we have used in the wild animals also, okay, because we cannot capture easily. That's why we have used pellet count method. It will be the uh, in the wild animals, okay. So this is it for today. uh, so today we have seen there are three types of two types of concepts. There is the one particular population dispersal. In that population dispersal, there are three kinds we have studied today. That is the migration, immigration as well as immigration. And another next topic is last topic is the population density. In that population density we also discuss here about that there are four types uh, of population density. That is the total count, sampling method and tagging method as well as the pillet count methods. So this is it for today. uh, Remaining parts we will see later on. Thank you very much.